I'm Glenn Cochran. This program will introduce how the performance level descriptors, or PLDs, from New York State Education Department could be used. The PLDs are guidance documents now available for elementary and middle school. Along with the New York State P12 Science Learning Standards, or NISLS, these can be used as a tool to evaluate student opportunity to learn. They can be used to review your curriculum, instruction, and assessment. Similar to achievement level descriptors, please note these are looking beyond what students can achieve, but what they can do as described by NISLS. Download the anchor chart labeled on the first slide at bit.ly sample PLD links. Use the bit.ly link to access the Google folder and anchor chart of links to download workshop materials. This program will give participants a chance to engage individually or in small groups to use the performance level descriptors. For convenience, the program has been run in 1 or 2 sessions. You will review a traditional elementary ecology lesson, a middle school assessment, and have an optional chance to use the PLDs to review something you teach. A goal is to provide tools to assist moving your instruction and your students to higher levels of performance. The PLDs are listed by performance expectation from NISLS. This one is performance expectation 5 PS 1-3. You can see that students at level 3 are proficient, and level 3 is the actual standard or performance expectation for the grade level. Levels 1 is below proficient, and insufficient. Level 2 is partially proficient, not yet proficient in the learning standards at this grade. And level 4 excels for their grade. Reviewing the levels helps communicate a range of knowledge and skills. PLDs can be used to inform the level of your programs and curriculum and instruction and what students need to do to perform at higher levels. They will also be crucial in explaining student performance on the New York State NISLS-based exams for grade 5 and 8, currently scheduled for spring 2024. How can we use the PLDs in a practical way? Working alone, or better in a group of educators, we will first review a traditional lesson and the related PLDs for where the lesson falls on the PLD spectrum. More importantly, what can be done with the lesson and instruction to provide your students the opportunity to learn at a proficient level. In part 2, we will use the PLD to review a performance classroom assessment and possibly review something for you from your science curriculum. Download Weaving the Web activity and the PLDs related to the lesson from the anchor chart link. You got that link on the first slide of the program. Take a moment to make sure everybody in the group has a digital copy. Weaving the Web is a kinesthetic lesson where students pass a ball of yarn, physically modeling the movement of energy in the ecosystem. They should make the connections that the energy from the sun moves along food chains and food webs. Individually, in a group, review the lesson and the 2 PLDs related to the lesson. I selected these 2 PLDs related to Weave the Web. Within the group, you might divide the task reviewing the activity for each PLD separately. You'll notice they are both grade 5, one physical and one life science. And you'll notice that one focuses on energy and the other on matter. If you haven't yet, get a digital copy of the lesson and the PLDs from the links on the anchor chart and join a group to do the PLD review. Select a spokesperson, or two to summarize your group's discussion. Stop the video. Share out your thinking for the PLD level for this lesson. Can this lesson be modified to provide opportunity to reach higher proficiency? The PLDs are useful, but the NISLIS details should also be considered when looking forward to transition and implementation of curriculum and instruction. This is the document from the NISLIS, and you'll notice a few things. First, this one is an NGSS version, and then NISLIS modified the clarification statement. You'll see what the 3 dimensions are expecting in this unit. This lesson might not cover it all, but at least you can take a look at this and see what's expected on the PS 3-1. Now, in my opinion, as a standalone lesson, I'd score this lesson as a level 1 for PS 3-1, since it doesn't get into the use of the energy by animals. A 0 for the 5LS2-1, since it doesn't address matter at all. Take a look at the NISLIS for the 3 dimensions. Teachers could ask students if there is a way to model the movement of matter and energy in the ecosystem, and if necessary, suggest a ball of yarn. The students might suggest using the yarn to represent energy coming from the sun and make a physical model. The lesson could be enriched by student discourse about the use of food as matter and energy. Move to now students developing their own models of food chains, food webs, based on information from other ecosystems. Provide the labels of science terms and processes for inclusion as they revise their initial models. Besides the PLDs, there are screeners that can be used to improve and review units and lessons. This one is from Achieve, and it looks for evidence of 6 components of the lesson or unit. This one was downloaded from the Wonder of Science website. Paul Anderson has a checklist screening tool to identify particular components. I thank you for your attention and work. And at this point, we'll take a break and start part 2 in a few moments.